Welcome everybody to voting video number 123 in the incredible Mandela Effect voting video series. Today we have All in the Family. Now this video is going to be for the older crowd, I imagine. I don't think the younger people are watching this 70s show. But this is a big one. This is a real big one for me. Doing the research on this was pretty incredible because I had a hard time finding examples of the current reality on this song. Most people remember it the way I remember it. So let's get into this. Let's see how Roseanne and Coolio remember the intro. Now there's one part of the intro, and you're going to hear it here.
Girls were girls and men were men.
And you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. So here's an article that was written by Matthew Davis. All in the Family masked disingenuous attack on traditional values. Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. That's right, you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. So let's see what Sammy Davis Jr. here remembers.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
And you knew who you were then.
That's right, Sammy. And you knew who you were then. Moving along.
Those were the days. And you knew who you were then.
Yep, you knew who you were then. Those were the days. Here's a book from Google Books. And you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. Those were the days. Let's see what they remember here in this cover. This guy. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? You don't even know what the actual line is, some of you who remember it like me. Now, there's going to be people who remember it the way it's always been. I guess I'll tell you now. And you knew where you were then. That's what it's always been. I'll play the original clip here at the end of the video. So you always knew where you were. Girls were girls, men were men. But that's not what I remember. In a more familiar reality, I remember you knew who you were then. You knew if you were a girl or a boy. So let's see what this guy remembers.
And you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men.
That's right. He remembers like me. Let's see what these people remember.
And you knew who you were then.
Girls were.
Yeah, you knew who you were then. I gotta tell you, I had a hard time finding people who sang it the way it's always been. Most people on YouTube have my memory of this song.
Those were the days, and you knew who you were then. Girls were girls.
I mean, it was incredible doing the research on this. And you knew who you were then, another book. It just goes on and on and on. What are these people going to say? You knew who you were, or you knew where you were?
Those were the days, and you knew who you were then.
Goils were goils and men were men.
Goils were goils. Let's see. I imagine this guy's going to have my memory since he made my video.
Those were the days. And you knew who you were then.
Yeah, you knew who you were. Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare state.
And you knew who you were
Wow, homie's got a high voice. And you knew who you were then. And you knew who you were then. All these books. Archie Bunker sings Those Were the Days. So here it is. Get ready for it. Put your seatbelt on. Hold on to your hats. Because here it is.
And you knew where you were then.
Girls were girls and men were.
That's right, Edith. And you knew where you were then, but I knew who I was then. Go ahead and vote. Thumb this video up if you remember it like me. Thumb it down if you don't. There's a link here. You can probably see it now to my first 122 voting videos. Click that. Check it out. It's amazing what people remember. All the thumbs up on things that aren't in this reality. Check them out. Talk to you all soon. Go create the reality that you want.